Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I am AstroZerg from YGG Gaming. In the top right-hand corner of Galactic Process, we have AstroZerg, and in the bottom left-hand corner, we have Barcode. So, this is the part 2 that I was talking about in the previous video. I will link the videos or do something so you guys can get to them. So we have the same build, most likely with the pylon, and probe is going out now. Now, the interesting thing though is that I just played this guy the game before, and that's the one that you guys saw on King Sejong Station, where he cannon rushed me. He's gonna throw down the forge. This map, I mean, it's probably, let's see. I mean, technically, it's a little bit easier to cannon rush on this one, I would say, because of the fact that you can, well, it's actually not, because if you put your stuff over here or something, then the queens can pick it off, so you'd have to put it like over here, and I mean that's just out of it's just, and he's gonna double gas steal, so that meta boost can't even be gotten. So I'm just gonna I instantly throw down the thing. I go to wall it off. Unfortunately, hold position. I wasn't in spot, and I hold positioned in the wrong spot. So just, this is the spot where you just pull drones. You don't pull like every single one because you want to still be mining, but you pull them. He's gonna throw down 4 pylons total. These 3 are obviously gonna finish, which is 3 gas worth, 300 minerals worth. He's gonna throw down a photon cannon and another pylon to wall off this cannon. Excuse me, hiccups. He's gonna send this probe around. Not really sure. These 3. This is why you want to pull your drones, because you don't have zerglings. The probe in this base died. You don't have zerglings at the moment. Really, what happens is if you kill these cannons, the cannon. If you kill these pylons, the cannon no longer has the vision to shoot up top. So that's really important. Meanwhile, this base is going to be taken. This probe scouts it out, so he knows that he's still going for a second. Meanwhile, this is what I'm talking about. This Protoss player is not macroing up. He's not macroing up behind this. He's going all out with these cannons. He's going to throw 3 more pylons up to wall off again and get the vision. He's going to go down here and cheese this spot as well. But this is just what I'm saying. Like, he's just not really macroing up behind this. He still has the ability. He should be throwing down gateways. Like, he needs to have a gateway by now so he can go into the Cybercore, into the Stargate. But instead, he's just sitting here. He's going to get the second base, which isn't a bad idea, but now he should be getting the gateway. Instead, he's going to be cannoning this spot, which is also not a bad idea, because he can't get to that base. But the fact remains, he should be throwing down something more here. Like, he's got plenty of minerals to do so, but he's just not. Like, 1 cannon is all he needs. But, I mean, this queen's going to be able to pick this pylon off. This spine call is going to be able to start working on that too. Once this stuff goes down, these lings can flood in and try to get that picked off with the queen. Finally, I can see that there are 2 cannons back here, and I'm like, oh, shoot. And I had a feeling there were, too. I was getting ready to cancel it, and I was like, and I decided not to. I probably should have, but that's okay. I mean, it's not okay, but whatever. I mean, he's just now getting a gateway at the 3-minute 45-second mark, and this is his first gateway. So me losing this hatchery, yes, it sucks, but it's not as big of a deal as it could have been. I'm not sure why he's thinking like, oh, I should just keep going with this aggression. I'm pretty sure he's probably not used to people like coming back from this and being able to take out his cannon rushes and stuff like that. Like, yes, he gets the second, but the amount of minerals he invested in this one spot was about 1,000, and that's just way too much. I mean, yeah, he's got 2, but this is what I'm talking about right here. It's so open to the queen. Like, he should have put it over here or something. No, he puts it up here, and that just leaves it open to get picked off by anything ranged. So now he's getting his cybercore. But this is what I'm saying. Like, yeah, he gets these cannons and it protects him, and that's pretty smart. But he should have had this stuff about a minute earlier when he was doing all this fancy stuff. Like once these pylons go down, stop committing to this. Like, it doesn't matter. Like, you've held him off from getting out, but you're just wasting your time making him you don't want him to make more units, because yes, you're keeping him off of making drones, but you're also distracted. Like, if you know you're not as good of a macro player, don't make it so that you're forcing yourself to be in a macro position. Force it so that, or sorry, don't make it so that it's all about the cannons. Start macroing up because you know you're not as good, and the other player probably is a little bit better than you since you do this kind of cannon stuff. Um, but you can just see 300, 400 minerals in this one spot, plus 700, plus another 200, that's 900, 1050, like, and then plus the canceled stuff. There's just so many minerals that he spent on that one strategy that didn't really do anything. He spent 1,050 minerals to take out one base, essentially. He didn't do anything with this. Most of those minerals were pylons. That's why he's so far behind, too. So now he's throwing down more pylons. He's getting saturated on his second, which is smart. This second base is finished, though, and a queen is able to come out. This gas is going to go down. Spine crawler is in position. Creep is starting to get spread, and this is pretty smart. Like, you want the creep, you want to be able to see. There's no third, which is a good indicator. I mean, he could have taken the early third, and that's something you want to look out for. Because if the protest player takes an early third, you know for sure they're going into like Archon Immortal play. They're going to just turtle up into that on 3 base and take their 4th base eventually. So that would tell me, like, okay, I need to get a 3rd base now because I can't be behind on bases, let alone even, is just as bad. So Stargate is going down. 2nd base is saturated. Meanwhile, 2nd base is starting to get saturated. He is behind in income by about 150, but that's not too bad though, considering he was the other player did spend most of his income on those cannons, but that's okay. So Gateway is just now starting after the Stargate too, I might add. So if we look in the APM, you can see like the micro aspect is a lot lower and slower from the barcode player, whereas Astrazerg myself is focusing a lot more on the macro aspect and getting this saturation. You can see he's already got saturation on the 2nd. Probably going to take the gases soon, taking the 3rd, which is really smart. They still see there's no 3rd. This Void Ray is going to go. Okay, so he's just checking around, I guess, because I think he saw the Zerglings. He's going to see this Overlord. Just barely, too. This queen is picking off the pylon from the high ground, like I said. This Overlord's going to die. He's going to scout where the Zerglings were. He's going to be like, oh my goodness, they were there. So he's going to get the Overlord, but that's not too big of a deal. Meanwhile, he's throwing down another gateway. This is actually he's getting a lot of gateways, plus the Robofac. Robofac. Creep spread is getting spread. Creep spread's getting spread. Yep, creep is getting spread. There we go. 3rd base is almost down. And supply is, he's got so many pylons for the amount of supply he has, so I'm not entirely sure why he's doing that. But you can see he's just throwing down a whole bunch of gateways, because I don't think he really knows what to do in this situation. He's just like, well, that didn't work. So, I mean, he's got 7 gateways, 8, 9 gateways on 2 base. He hasn't even taken the 3rd yet. So this just looks like it might be an all-in, I mean, technically, but the build itself is an all-in build, except for the fact the cannons were there. If he hadn't done it with the cannons and stuff about 3 minutes ago, this would have been an all-in, but, or 2 minutes ago or so, I don't even know. I don't play Protoss, but I know for sure that this is not a valid strategy to do, because what he's doing, the problem is, since he doesn't necessarily know how to macro as well, he's thrown down all these gateways because he doesn't know what to do now, because of the fact he is forced into the mid game. The 3rd base is going down. He doesn't realize, like, now he's getting his 3rd, but it's like way too late. But this is the whole point. Like, if you get cannon rushed, it's most likely they've done it a lot before, and that they're. I mean, most of the time, somebody who cheeses / all-ins, or I mean something like that, they probably have less skill at macroing than you do. So don't worry if you lose to something like that, because if you see here, I held against it, I didn't die, which puts me into the mid game, which is my comfortable spot. Most of the games I win are in the mid game, due to my macroing abilities. I am a macroer, like that pretty much defines me. I like to macro. I like to do that kind of stuff. Creep spread going, like, versus this kind of player who does 9 gate on 2 base, 10 plus getting it forged now, getting upgrades. So you can just see like the difference between two players. 2-2 is going here, or sorry, 2-1 is going here. Layer's done, Hydroden's done, third base is saturated, probably going to take a fourth base soon. Got Hydras to counter the Stargate play. You can just see like this is probably the main composition that this guy goes if he ends up getting into the mid game. But his third base is so late compared to what he should have. He wasn't making probes while his third base was being made, which you always do. Like you should literally be always making probes until you hit that 70 probe mark or 65 probe mark. I mean, yeah, he's got 12 probes now, but he wasn't still making them. He could be completely saturated on the third base by now. Gonna start getting aggressive. Lings versus this is not necessarily the best idea. There are only 6 adepts and a good amount. Like, this isn't much of an army. Yes, he's got a higher supply. That is true. Zealots are starting to be made, but I mean, Banelings could easily rip through this. I mean, he's got most gateway units. He's only got 4 immortals. A fourth base is going down. He's got immortals to counter roaches, but I mean, hydras are also a factor. Yes, you've got 6 adepts, but adepts versus hydras, they do damage. But it's not like the counter. Like, you can't just expect to go straight, like, I'm going to counter this with adepts. Done. I mean, yeah, mass adept can definitely counter this, but not with this many links, especially without, is it just Phil? No, he's getting charged, so he's not even getting Resonating Glaives. So third base is saturated, that's true. Fourth base is going down for Astrozerg. By this point, a fourth base should be going down for Barcode. This creep spread is actually really good. He's going to have vision of any attack except for up here. So that's really good vision. Fourth base is about to finish. Meanwhile, upgrades are he's got 2-1, getting 2-2, plus a lot of Banelings are going to be coming out soon, most likely, to be able to counter this. I mean, that's a lot of Zealots. Banelings easily counter Zealots and Adepts, so this will be really good. Stalkers, the counter to them, technically you can counter them with Hydras. Hydras do way better against Stalkers than Stalkers do against Hydras. Void Rays, the counter, technically is Hydras as well. Void Rays do extra. Don't go Corruptor if they have Void Rays. Go Muta if they have Void Rays, because these guys can charge against Corruptors. There we go. Let's see. We got an Archon now, and technically, it's a good play, but he's only got 1. Yeah, he's only got 1 right now. He's got 2 now. He's starting to build up the Death Ball sort of thing. He's getting 3-3, so that'll be really crucial. I mean, he's only getting, like, he hasn't even gotten plus, oh, he has gotten +1, never mind. So he has 2-1 against 2-1, so it'll be pretty even. Now that there's, this Phoenix has the Scout, it was a, whatchamacallit from the Sentry. Speaking of which, so these Lurkers are going to start burrowing. He doesn't have detection, I don't think. I really doubt he, oh, there's the Observer. But I mean, he's just throwing everything into these Lurkers. Like, these Lurkers are doing so much damage, and that's gonna be game. So, speaking of which, I was shooting a video, and I was trying to figure out the name of the Ultra thing. It's Chitinous Plating. I just had to get that off my chest into another YouTube video so I would know what it was, because I just blanked out badly on that. But in regards to this game, you can just tell the difference between the two players macro-wise. You can see here, this guy probably is not used to controlling an army against Lurkers when he's not expecting Lurkers until the last second. So he just literally threw everything into those Lurkers and ended up dying. I'll go back a little bit, but that's the power of Lurkers. Like, if you can catch the other player off by some, like, watch this, 5 Lurkers, 4 now. And he's just leaving his army. He's just A-moving. He's not actually microing, if you can tell. He's literally A-moving. You can't really see it from his perspective, but the fact that he's just, like, you can just tell he was A-moving, since he wasn't really controlling his army. So, I mean, Lurkers were in the back. I don't think this, the Barcode player expected them, and that's probably why. Creep spread was just amazing. throughout this entire game, considering what had happened. No fourth base. Like, he should have had this fourth base about 3 minutes ago, 4 minutes ago. I mean, especially if you're going Archon Immortal, you want that early saturation stuff. I mean, even if he had pushed this army off, 11 Hydras and 10 Lings coming in, plus as well as 2 up 2-2, and he didn't even have 3-1 yet, that would have been big. So that's game. And that was pretty well played by both players, but Astrazerg slash myself ended up coming out on top in a decisive victory. Thank you for watching. I am Astrazerg from YGG Gaming. Like, comment, subscribe, just to let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and have a wonderful day.